la la la, yai, 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 die, die, yai, diddy, die, 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 yai, 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 die, die, yai, diddy, die, yai, diddy, die, die, yai, die, yai, die, die, yai, diddy, die, die, die. So this is a new Nagoon that I hope all of you will join in with me. It's easy, so sing along. Here we go. Yai, 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 die, die, yai, diddy, die, yai, diddy, die, die, yai, die, yai, die, die, yai, diddy, die, die, die. Wasn't that easy? Now part two. Yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, 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 yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, 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 diddy, die, yai, die, yai, die, die, yai, diddy, die, yai, diddy, die, die, yai, die, yai, die, die, yai, diddy, die, 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 yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, 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 yai, die, die, yai, die, die, yai, die, 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 yai, 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 die, die, yai, diddy, die, yai, diddy, die, die, yai, die, yai, die, die, yai, diddy, die, die, die.
Shabbat Shalom. I think we have to turn me up. It is so nice to be here with all of you, those of you who are joining us here in the sanctuary, those of you who are joining us from your own sanctuaries at home. We feel so blessed that you are joining our community for Shabbat. And really, wherever you are, know that we are all together, all of our prayers move in the same direction. Sometimes prayer can be a little bit hard. We're being asked to think about and engage with the world in a different way than we usually do, right, in the hustle and bustle of our day-to-day life. But I think Shabbat makes it possible for us. It helps us to slow down, to take a broader view. That is the gift that Shabbat is for us. So at our service tonight, you'll see on the slides here, if you're in the room, that we have page numbers. You can feel free to go with your prayer book. It's really nice when we're all singing together on the same page, but you're also allowed to get a little bit lost, find something in the prayer book that interests you, that grabs your attention tonight. That is absolutely okay. Feel free to get a little lost. There will be moments in the service where you're asked to stand and sit. You can feel free to do what you are able and comfortable with. We know that whatever position you're in, you will be standing in your heart. So, as we welcome in our Shabbat this evening, we have some wonderful simchas this weekend. We have a lot to celebrate. One of them is tomorrow morning, Ryan Stern, our own Ryan Stern, will be leading services in honor of becoming bar mitzvah. And so, to honor that, we'd like to call his family up to lead us in blessing the candles. Ryan, his parents, Ira and Aaron, and his sister, Ashlyn.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kadashanu b'mitzvotav, Bitzivanu, Lahadlik, Ner Shal Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has made us holy through your commandments and commanded us kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Well, thank you, Ryan, and to your family. We are so excited for you to lead us in prayer tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon, a double simcha. We are honored to have Lila Majors leading us in honor of her becoming bat mitzvah. And so to that end, we will invite Lila, her parents, Paul and Carrie, and her brother Eli to lead us in our Kiddush. And if you're at home and you want to get your own glass of wine or grape juice, you can feel free to do so. As we welcome in the sweetness of Shabbat.
Who?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Go ahead, take some. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Hi.
Feel free.
While you're all trying this wonderful Kiddush wine, Lila, thank you so much, you and your family, for leading us tonight. We are so excited to be led by you in prayer tomorrow, and a little bit tonight too. What's the verdict?
What do you think, Eli? No, I didn't think
Okay,
so.
all right. We'll
That's-
get
that's a
him.
good
We'll
thing.
get him next time.
Okay, but our opening song tonight is Shalom Aleichem, the song from our liturgy that talks about the angels of peace and the angels of holiness and coming in and just sharing with us that extra little bit of soul for Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We rise in our places or in our hearts for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. We read together. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish. But your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
We are seated, and tonight in the following sections of Shema, the Ve'ahavta, we will be led by Ryan Stern, who, if you don't remember, is leading services in honor of becoming Bar Mitzvah tomorrow. And we want people to hear you, so we got to turn the microphone on.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha ve'dibarta ba B'shivtecha, b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha, derech, uv'shulcha, uv'kumecha, u'kshartam, liot, al yadecha, v'hayu, v'totafot, v'necha, u'chtavtam, al mezuzot, v'techa, uv'isharecha, l'ma'an tizkaru, Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti liot lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
Ryan, Yasher, Koach, thank you so much. You may be seated. I know you were excited to hear that. No, that's good. And thank you. And we'll read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Norah tehilot osei v'eleh, Norah tehilot osei v'eleh, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Nechara uvanecha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze'eli anu ve'amru, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כבד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
So remember the nigun we learned at the beginning of the service? That tune we're going to sing again because that is the tune to our new Vishamru. So let's sing along and enjoy and have a good time. Yai, 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 diddy, die, yai, diddy, die, 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 yai, yai, die, die, yai, diddy, die, die, die. Here we go. Vishamru, b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat la'asot, et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit, oh, one more time. Vishamru, b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat la'asot, et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, od hi le'olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, od hi le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat la'asot, et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvahayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat la'asot, et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit olam. Yai, 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 diddy, die, yai, diddy, die, die, yai, 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 diddy, die, die, die.
We now rise for the Amidah. And to lead us in Avot, the first prayer of the Amidah, we call up soon-to-be Bat Mitzvah, Lila Majors.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, הגibor v'hanora el elyon gomel chasadim tovim v'gonei hakol v'zocher hasdei avot v'imahot umevi gula livnei v'neihem למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We are seated. And Yashar Koach to Lila for leading us. It is a sign of good things to come for her service tomorrow. Let's read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech Adon Shalom, Ki atahu melech Adon, Lecho HaShalom, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam, v'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam.
here in the presence of our sacred community, surrounded by the people we care about, that we think of those in our community in need of healing, those who ail in mind, body, and spirit, who lie on beds of pain. We think of those who put in so much of their time and energy to take care of our loved ones in need of medical assistance. If you have someone that you're thinking of at this time, feel free to, at this moment, hold their name in your heart really tightly. Just feel it there. And we'll take all of those names in our hearts, all those names unsaid, and we'll sing our prayer of healing, Mishaberach.
Mishaberach, Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, uYivarech, Yivarech, et HaCholim. El Narefanala, El Narefanala, El Narefanala, El Narefanala, Mishaberach, Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, uYivarech, Yivarech, et HaCholim.
We take a moment now for silent prayer, the prayer inscribed on our hearts.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי. Adonai tzuri v'goali, Adonai tzuri v'goali. My God, my rock and my redeemer, Adonai tzuri v'goali. My heart opens for you, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי.
That was beautiful.
I'll get you.
All of this technology. Well, it is wonderful to be back. For anyone who doesn't know, the way we work our vacations is Rabbi Weiss was away for the month of June. Cantor and I were away for the month of July, not together. We could have been. And it is really, really good to be back. Rabbi Weiss, you did such a beautiful job over the last month. I shared with everyone before I left how much, when I was the assistant rabbi, how much I enjoyed my month of being home alone. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. But the only thing better than being home alone was when everyone came back. Robert, you've added so much beauty throughout the summer to our services, and it's wonderful having you on the bima with us as well. And it's great having all of you here, both in the sanctuary, at home, on Facebook, YouTube, on the Tampa Bay Community Network. We're just really glad to have you all with us tonight. A lot of people have asked what I did for the month away. The first week, I really sat on the couch and did nothing. It was wonderful, yes. My family and I went to North Carolina for a week, which was really nice. When we came back, we reorganized the garage. Actually, we've only lived in the house for a year, so we organized the garage, which was good. And then the last week of July, I was really back on the couch, and I was glued to the Olympics. I love the Olympics. And while I know that COVID almost canceled this year's competition, you can add me to the list of those who were hoping that they would find a way to make the games happen and who are thrilled that they did, who was praying that it continues to be done so safely, but who has really enjoyed it. Sports have been a source of normal throughout the pandemic, even as they have been far from normal. And especially this year, I have loved watching the Olympics with my children at 5 and 4. We watched the last one, but they didn't get too much of it. Being able to expose them to sports they've never seen before, seeing my daughter Eva get even more excited about synchronized swimming, which she started over the summer. I'm sure you'll hear lots of that, more about that in the future. But the thing that I really enjoyed explaining to them was the idea of a world record, of someone running faster, swimming faster, throwing farther than anyone ever has in the entire world before now. And in spite of all of the adversity of this year's games, athletes are pushing themselves to new levels, achieving never-before-seen success. In fact, in both the men's and women's 400-meter hurdles, runners broke the world record and got the silver medal because another runner also broke the world record with a faster time. If you missed those races, go home and YouTube them, and if you're at home, wait until the service is over, but make sure you watch those races. They were incredible. How is it, I've often wondered, not only that world records can continue to be broken, that one generation will be faster than the next, but also how an individual who has been racing for their entire life will keep getting faster, lifting more, throwing farther. As an aside, as I was researching for tonight, I found an article that was written in 2015, and it was called, "Will Athletes Ever Stop Breaking World Records?" And the article specifically mentioned Michael Johnson's 1996 world record in the 400-meter, not hurdles, the run, as a record that would never be broken. And then I looked, and the next year in Rio, the record was broken. So how does this keep happening, even when they say it can't be done? Sometimes it has to do with new equipment. When it comes to the hurdles this year, I read that there is a new shoe that's been helping athletes, and the track in Tokyo also has a new innovation from which runners and hurdlers are both benefiting. I'm not going to try to explain it. It was an article in the New York Times if you're interested. At the 2008 Olympics, it was swimsuits. 13 swimming world records were broken when Speedo released a new full-body suit designed with help from NASA, including 8 of those records by Michael Phelps, who wore a variation of the suit. The swimsuits were banned right after those games, and again, experts predicted that it would be decades before those records would be broken, but 23 swimming world records have been set since then, with 19 new Olympic records being set this year in Tokyo. And American Caleb Dressel beat his own world record from 2 years ago in the 100-meter butterfly, a record that had beat Michael Phelps from those 2008 games. So equipment aside, how is it that these athletes keep getting faster? So of course, we look to the Torah. I mean, you knew I was going to get there eventually, right? So in this week's Torah portion, Re'eh, we read, "When Adonai has enlarged your territory as God has promised you." Now the text continues with a discussion about eating meat, and that's where most of the commentary will focus. But in the Midrash to the book of Deuteronomy, the rabbis focus on the first part. And they say, how is it possible that God could enlarge the land? And no, this is not going to go into a political discussion of Israel's borders. The rabbis weren't thinking about borders at all. The Torah saw the land as a pre-existing body of land that was waiting to be settled. And according to the laws of physics, which even the rabbis understood, land cannot be made larger than it is. But Rabbi Isaac in the Midrash gives us an interesting way of thinking about this. He says, if one picks up a Torah scroll, right, one of these scrolls behind me, they would hardly suspect the magnitude of its length or its breadth. But when it's opened, its size becomes apparent. Now, even this statement can be thought of in many ways. First, if you've been with us or another synagogue on Simchat Torah, which has opened up the Torah in its entirety, you know that when the Torah is opened up completely, it encircles almost this entire sanctuary. So this physical explanation is a simple one. Whether we're talking about the Torah or one that I thought of, our small intestines, right? In this little part of our body, if you 20 feet of small intestines, you didn't know that? Yeah. Sometimes what we're looking at may in fact be physically larger than it appears. We just have to open it up. And no, we're not going to open up anyone's intestines this year on Simchat Torah. But if we head in a different direction, we see a more metaphorical understanding of this teaching, of this midrash. The Torah, when closed, looks like a scroll. It looks like any other book. But once we open it, not all the way, but simply to read it, we realize how big of a document we're looking at. And as we continue to read year after year, we realize that with all of the different possible explanations for each passage, this book that we're looking at is even bigger than the words that appear on the parchment. This weekend, we begin the month of Elul, a month meant for personal introspection, which leads us to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which, believe it or not, are only a month away. And I don't want to think about it. And just as the athletes at the Olympics continue to amaze us with new personal bests and Olympic and world records, these two explanations from the Midrash can inspire us to think about how each of us can expand our own borders as well. The Olympics bring on an adrenaline rush more than any other meet, which along with intense training allows athletes to find ability within themselves that they never knew was there. Swimming and running faster, lifting more, performing better than they ever have in their lives. Whether it's in athletics or the way we perform in our studies or our jobs or the way we act with one another, we all have perceived limits. We're like a closed Torah scroll. We have some imaginary place that we've envisioned as the best we're capable of. But we too are capable of reaching farther, working harder, achieving in ways that we never knew were possible. And as we think about our own goals and accomplishments, the personal bests we each hope to outperform, may we also think about our own Torah, the way we look to our Judaism and the depth that it can provide us if we open ourselves to it. We don't need an equipment upgrade in our Judaism. We have the potential to see the tools that have been at our disposal for generations in new ways. So as we enter this month of Elul, may we open ourselves just as we aim to open the Torah. May we think of the ways in which we can expand all of our borders, trying new things, approaching old things in new ways, pushing ourselves in new ways, perhaps forgiving ourselves and others in new ways, looking to the wisdom of Torah in new ways. And may we strive to live each day just a little bit better than we did the day before, creating personal bests in every moment of our lives. Amen. As we begin to conclude our service, just a few quick announcements. Again, when the service is over, we don't have an Oneg Shabbat. But everyone is welcome to visit and schmooze. I hope that if you're on Facebook, that you'll wish one another a Shabbat Shalom if you haven't already, that if you are at home or here after the service is over, that you'll take the opportunity to text or call someone and wish them a Shabbat Shalom as we expand the borders of our community as well. Thinking ahead to the High Holy Days and looking out and knowing how much we all are grateful that we're here, and also how we wish we weren't having to wear masks. I do want to take this opportunity just to remind everyone that as we pray for healing, we also thank God for the opportunities that we're given to heal ourselves, to take care of ourselves. If anyone has not taken that opportunity to receive the vaccine who is able to do so, my prayer is that you find that strength in you to take that step. It's so important, not just in protecting ourselves, but in protecting our community and getting closer to that time when we can have that normal once again. Please know that we're doing everything we can as a congregation to work toward that time as well. We are looking forward to safely opening our religious school. If you have not been able to enroll your kids yet, please do so now. We'll have our open house next Sunday. We do have an online option as well. So just as for our services, we want you coming in the way that you're feeling most safe and most comfortable. We're doing the same thing with our children as we move into the next year of Jewish education. And I think that might be all of our announcements. If you are online, please make sure that you check out our website, www.zedek.org. If you're new to us, if you've stumbled across us, it's wonderful having you with us. If anyone is new in the congregation this evening, we look forward to getting to know you better. Please come introduce yourself after the service is over. And I think that's anything I'm forgetting. I think we're good. So Shabbat Shalom, and we will begin to conclude our service with Aleinu as those who are able rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כחומונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. So look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. On this Shabbat, we remember those in our community and loved ones of those in our community who have recently been laid to rest. Rita Bowman, Mort Kotler, Lawrence Henry Berlin, Nancy Neiman, Adele Pavis, and to be laid to rest next week, Alan H. Phillipson. We also remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose passing, occurs at this time. Jack N. Berkman, Ann Elfenbein, Saul Eller, Solomon Eller, Lawrence Lipman Falk, Arthur Federer, Roberta Feiner, Seymour Fromer, Ida Gimpelvich, Jack Jacques Green, Mortimer Guzner, Erwin Hannipol, Henry Hausman, Marjorie Hodes, Constance E. Hoffman, Serena Sarah Horshin, Howard Hubbard, Samuel Heimovitz, Paul I. Kalick, Walter H. Kessler, Samuel Lehrer, Sylvia Leslie, Roderick Lewin, Ina Remland Lilling, Louise McCune, Raymond Medeiros, Billy Mills, Gloria Mills, Cy Newman, Louis Radetzky, Ruth Radetzky, Ferdinand Rosenau, Muriel Rothbaum, Morton Shep, Bernard Schneck, Belle Shulak, Dr. Ben Shulak, Pearl Shack, Isabel Ruth Solomon, Clarice Steinberg, Leo Towell, Bruce Tischler, Leonard Wagner, Tanya Weisbein, Zach Warren, Elsie Warshaw, James Weber, Louis Wellhouse Jr., Lilibeth Wood. We remember each of them, even as we remember our own loved ones who are no longer with us, who, though unmentioned, are always in our hearts. Zichronam livracha, may their memory always be a blessing. As we rise and join together in Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, thanking and praising God for having shared such beautiful lives with us. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach Hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Ulamei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal. Shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together, Amen. And our closing song is Ein Kelohenu, as we join together.
Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Elohenu, Mi Adonenu, Mi Kemalkenu, Mi Kemoshienu, No Del Elohenu, No Del Adonenu, No Del Malkenu, No Del Moshienu, Baruch Elohenu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkenu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Elohenu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkenu, Atahu Moshienu.
Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yavarech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto this people, letting this people and all peoples find strength from all sources around us, finding strength in us that we never knew was there, to make strides we never knew we could, to work together with all peoples to create a world of peace, as we say together.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
I got your I'll be here. He left.